Hello, and welcome to a strategy guide on the visual novel Gnosia. Today I will be focusing on the role of the Doctor. Now, barring anything weird, the Doctor role will play out like any other for day 1. Now, unlike the Engineer, where a reveal day 1 could work out, for the Doctor, where their report is only useful on day 2 and beyond, a day 1 reveal sometimes is not useful. Again, here our report is where we differ from the Engineer, as the Engineer has the freedom to select whoever they want to investigate, whereas the Doctor can only see what a person was once they enter cold sleep. Now we have 3 Engineer claims here, and I agree with the proposition to put them all to sleep rather than sort out who's who and waste a bunch of time. But it doesn't pan out that way, and instead only one of the Engineers is selected for cold sleep. Oh dear, Yuriko is lying, and that's a bad thing because Setsu lied day 1, which means Comet was the real Engineer and we froze them. And we almost immediately see the benefit of sending all 3 Engineers into cold sleep. And unlike with the Engineer, we can't investigate Remnin or Shigemichi directly, and so we'll have to wait until one of them is sent to cold sleep. Now we discover that Yuriko is human, and so that likely means that Setsu's the Gnosia and Yuriko was the bug or the AC follower. Now SQ and I both reported that the 2 previous Engineer claims were human, and that likely means that they were indeed both human, and so Setsu is likely the Gnosia. I'm voting Setsu here. And what do you know? Setsu was human, so they too were also either the bug or the AC follower, and Comet was the real Engineer. Now this leads me to 2 conclusions that I can be fully confident in. One is that we must vote correctly on day 5, otherwise we lose. And 2, SQ is 100% the Gnosia because they are not the bug and not the AC follower, and I'm the real Doctor. Well, this doesn't bode well, and Shigemichi lying here reminds me that Remnin was accusing them of lying, and Remnin is the guard duty, so that means Shigemichi is also a Gnosia, because again, they can't be the other 2 evil roles. Okay, so Gina was put into cold sleep with a 4-3 decision, and so that means Otome had the misvote, as Stella is the 3rd Gnosia. They will never let us out again. I'm not sure if that means we'll be hanging out here, or this will be where we meet our end. You're telling me Shigemichi is in love with this thing? On to the next loop, we again have 3 Engineer claims. Knowing that 2 of them are fake, it is sensible to put all of them into cold sleep rather than risk them confusing us later on. Okay, so some good news. No one was eliminated by the Gnosia last night. However, bad news, Jonas was human. All this tells us now really is nothing about Stella. It actually tells us that the real engineer is either Setsu or Jonas, and we froze Jonas, so we will only have Setsu's reports to go off on. We at least know not to take Krakushka's reports seriously. We will claim day 2, and it looks like SQ once again will be our fake doctor claim. Now, of course, this I'm okay with because Kukushka is not on our side. However, that doesn't mean that they are the Gnosia. Unfortunately, Remnin alerted us to the fact that Setsu is lying, and they are the lone engineer left, which means Jonas, who he froze again, was the engineer, the real one, and Setsu is likely the Gnosia. Kukushka was either the bug or the AC follower, and this is unfortunate. Wow, it's kind of strange that this loop is a mirror image. There's 3 doctor claims that we all freeze. Finally, we get one right, Setsu, Gnosia. There is another fake doctor alongside me, that being SQ, and Remnin is a guard duty who finds out one of the Gnosia. Now, the doctor doesn't come with the same autonomy as the engineer role. The doctor only passively reviews the nature of code sleep victims rather than going out to investigate someone of their own volition. To me, that means that the role of the doctor leans somewhere between crew and engineer. While they are not quite crew, as they do have an important role most of the time, they are not quite the engineer, as they are more just receiving results and not actively participating in the investigative aspect. Obviously, our most likely candidate for Code Sleep should be SQ, knowing that they are a fake. Unfortunately, the rest of the people on board this ship do not agree. Oh, and tip number, I'm not using numbers. Yuriko is thinking you should as well when you are playing this game. That is a tip. Maybe Yuriko could be the life coach or the strategist, and you can follow them blindly. Now, I do intend to revisit the doctor role and the other roles in future videos, but not for a while. So I am a little disappointed in the fact that these 2 loops were somewhat of a catastrophe. Now, once again, SQ is our most likely suspect, given that they are the fake doctor claim, and so we will vote for them in this final vote. Okay, I obviously know what is going to happen, but let's just put that aside. Xiaoming voted for Chippy, so in theory, if SQ was the Gnosia, Xiaoming would be the other one. Clearly, that is not the case, as Xiaoming was eliminated, and the scan was that SQ was human. The 2 Gnosia were Chippy and Yuriko.